Okay, first up we have Matt. Okay, looking good. Just gonna give it a quick check for a few things. Make sure everything seems to be functioning well. Okay, we've got an issue with the right thigh, it looks like. So, if I look at the left thigh, if I select that and hit the up arrow to go up one, I can see it's parented to this joint, but the right thigh is also parented to that joint, and instead I should select that, shift select this joint, and hit P for parent. Okay, now let's take a look and see if that's working. That is working, but there's a knee cap issue going on here. So I don't even know if you need that actually, because I don't think we see it. You could probably parent that to the knee, but I just think that we're not even seeing that. Oops. Let's just see what we're talking about here. Keep clicking that wrong button. Yeah, see, it's the bottom half of that sphere that's inside of that. Oh, wait, this one splits off too. Huh. Yeah, like bends off there. I mean, honestly, I don't think we're going to see that. I might just get rid of it. Otherwise, you could just parent it to the knee joint. That would work fine too, but like, I don't think we really see that guy. Just deleting it. Whoops. Oh, that's not at 0, 0, 0. That's unfortunate. Alright. Anyways, what else? Arms seem to be working okay. Check the eye control. And fingers. Oops. Might turn off IK handles on here, so we don't accidentally select those. Would be a good idea. Check the various curls here. The hand's looking good. See how the spine is moving. Yeah, really good. Everything seems to be working nicely. There's this neck thing, huh? Is that neck bound? The neck is bound, but it doesn't seem to be weighted properly. I think someone else asked about this too. I'm going to go to right mouse click over here with that object selected. Paint, skin cluster weights. And if I right mouse click on a joint and select influence, whoops. I don't know what that. I'm going to double click here. So somehow those joints were not included in the bind. So I'm going to select these 3 joints and this surface and go to skin, add influence options, and is that right? Oh, yeah, now they're in here. That worked. Okay. Actually, it might even I think it might have already even adjusted the weights. Let's see if it's already. Hey, look at that. Not too bad for a really quick step there. Good deal. Okay. Now, you've got blend shapes, so this jaw at this moment is useless. You could go in and weight the jaw very carefully to move this, but since you're probably going to do the mouth with the blend shapes, you know, you could just skip it. Yeah, so good work on this. Just a couple little fixes there, and you'll be ready to go. Next up is Nitzen. I'm going to turn off the gate just to make this easier to check this out. Yeah, it's a nice, very good pose here. Good work on that. Looks all good. Okay. That's all working. Now, potentially you could add some joints in the bandana or something to make it stay out of the way, but I think it's pretty uncommon that his head would bend so far. You might just need to be careful about how you move the head to make sure that doesn't intersect. Okay. There's that left pole vector locator that you said you were having trouble with. I mean, there are these two keyframes on here. I think maybe the problem you are having is these keyframes. I'm just going to go delete those. And now, yeah, his arm is staying put now. So it's just that you add a couple keyframes on that pole vector locator. Look out for that. Other than that, this one seems really good. I'm not really finding any issues with it. Oh, are you having that same neck thing? I wonder. Nope, neck's working. Great. Yeah, really good. Next up is Tegan. One quick thing, if I could ask, make sure you follow the naming convention. I think it should be listed on here. Yeah, Simon 10, last name, first initial, .ma. So you could imagine how confusing it would be if like everybody turned into something called character or something like that. So yeah, it's a good habit to get in anyways. Yeah, looking very good. Good pose. The model's really fleshed out with a lot of nice detail. The spurs and collar and a nice hat and all that stuff. Really good stuff going on here. Front pocket. The nice detail on the clothes. Let's show. I'll just show all, make it easy on myself, and then we can hide things like joints and IK handles because we don't need to see those. Okay, let's just do a quick check of this character. Moving around, all right. Neck's been a problem area for one of the, okay. So once again, we've got that. Seems like your character needs a nose as well. I think it would really benefit from a nose. We'll do the neck in a moment. Okay, that's working. It's always nice to have a hand like in a at least slightly relaxed pose, like not so, flat. Looks a little more natural. This hand's in a really nice pose. Really good job on the gun grip there. Alright, let's take a look at that neck, see if that same fix is going to do it for us. So when I did it earlier, I selected this joint, shift select this joint, shift select that joint, so I have those three joints selected. You can see that in here, right mouse click, reveal selected, and those would be back, neck, join, neck A, neck B. So, and then let's shift select the neck, and hopefully that fact that that's parent, it won't be a problem. Let's see. Shouldn't. Skin, add influence options, just use the defaults. Okay. And let's see if that solved our neck issue. Yes, it did. Fabulous. Okay. Yeah. Looking good. So yeah, I think it's just the neck thing. And yeah, I think adding a nose, I think it looks sort of funny without a nose. Anyways, think about it. Okay. Next up is Chris. I'll just hide the joints. Alright, let's just do a quick check. Right. Everything seems to be working well. Yeah, same neck issue. Yeah, seems like that's kind of the main issue that most of you are running into. So once again, select this one, shift select that one, shift select this one, select the neck, skin, add influence, default options. And that seems like it's been working very nicely. Yeah. Where are these spine controls? I don't see them. Are we missing there's a pole vector locator. So normally there's like an IK spline thing for the back, and so you've got the spline IK there, so that exists, but what you don't have is those little cluster handles here in the back, like the other ones, to do that. So does it have the doesn't seem like the curve is there either. There's curves, yeah. So I would say go back over that and get those in there. I think basically you make the IK spline, and I think when you do that, you auto create curve, and it will make the curve for you, and then you take the CVs of the curve and you do create deformers, create a cluster for each one of those points on that curve, and then you make a selection handle for each of the clusters. So yeah, if that's not covered in the video, just let me know. I can go over that as well. But yeah, I think let's see what happens if we bend these guys here. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and just delete this because it's not letting me bend the spine joints. Well, it's bound. Okay, so And then, I mean, you actually, see, there's an issue there. Okay. So for that, okay. So what's going on here is that, look at the number of spans here on this guy, and then look at the ones on the shirt and see how they don't match. See how this one has very little detail on it? It just has one here, and then a big gap all the way to the top. Actually, I think it's just one less span, but it's great if the spans are in the same spot. So what I would do is delete history. That gets rid of the bind and add. I'm just going to hold down shift, add one in each of the locations here. And we'll have some extras, but that shouldn't hurt us. Rather have too many than not. Wait, it's not doing my shift select thing. Or did I mess it up? Oh, okay, I don't know. I must have deselected it on accident. Just a little extra one here. Maybe one extra one at the top. Okay, and then under surfaces, insert isoparms, and we'll just use the default options. I'll just reset this. Okay, now that's got plenty of detail. Now, just select all the relevant joints here. I mean, you can just do all joints. Let's try that. Let's just try it. I'm going to select just the root joint and then select this shirt that is not bound, and then skin bind, smooth bind options. Let's reset this joint hierarchy. Blah, blah, blah. Just use the defaults. Okay. And now okay, it's better, but it's not all the way good. So maybe it's because I overdid it on this one. Let's just do the same thing to this guy. Let's add a little more detail so they match. I mean, the point is, what you want is you want them to match, because if they have the same isoparms in the same places, then they're going to bind about the same, and then they're going to move the same, and then they shouldn't, in most cases, intersect like that. If they still are, the next thing is to make a little bit more space between the two surfaces. So I'm going to insert those two isoparms, and yeah, just shift select the root joint and bind skin with default options. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, well that's maybe an easy. I'm using my down arrow to. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So as long as those isoparms match, the shirts shouldn't intersect each other. All right. I just accidentally turned down the volume, but that shouldn't matter for the recording. Good. Yeah. Other than that, it seems to be working fine. So yeah, get those fixed. So there was the two things. There was the spine issue, and then there was the shirts intersecting were the main things to fix. Okay, Vanessa is up next, and let's take a look. Okay, the dress and stuff looks good. I've got an issue here with one of the legs, and let's so see what happens when we move it around, if that'll give us a clue as to what's that already looks a little weird, the way the although maybe that's because she's rotate it here. Okay, that's better. Ah, interesting. Okay, so when she's rotated straight, it's fine, and then it spins out and then comes back into place. All right, what is going on? So, one good way to look at this is to take a look at what this guy's doing that is working. So I select that, hit the up arrow on the keyboard once, nothing. Again, nothing. Okay, that's bound to that joint. And this one's parented. Or is it parented and bound? No. Okay. I thought it was going to be parented and bound. There is some inputs in there we should be looking at. So that history is still there. So I think it's one of those where it's either going to be bound or it's going to have the history, but not both. So let's try deleting the history off these guys. This guy, and see if that. Okay, good. That problem is solved, and let's see if it's moving properly. Okay, we've got something going on with the sole of the shoe. And I'm guessing that's going to be a history issue as well. So it is bound and you've got the history. So that is going to be a problem. So what you can try is, and this sometimes freaks out, but you can try, really what you should have done is deleted history before you bound it to the skeleton. But there's this thing called delete non-deformer history, meaning it'll delete these nodes off history and leave that one alone. Doesn't like that. Delete by type, non-deformer history. Is there any? No. Fine. We just we'll just have to bind it again. So, do we have this? We've got other little bits. Oh boy, why is there so many skin clusters? Oh no, that's the joint. So, let's see if this one's working. There's my little control handle, okay. This one's okay. And you'll see there's no extra history on there. So what I'll do is just regular old delete history off of the surface, edit delete by type history. Then we'll have to bind it again, and just out of laziness I'll just select the whole skeleton and use smooth bind with the default options. And same thing. Okay, scan bind, smooth bind. Okay. What? Oh, there's like more than one of these crazy services. Do we need all those? Do we even need that? Alright, I'm just going to make sure I have everything selected all at once. This is probably how I should have done it in the first place. Delete history off of all of those. Shift select the root joint and bind skin. The default options. Okay, now now we have a weighting issue on the other boot. Jeez, I just can't win today, huh? Yeah, we have weighting issue on both boots. Let me just try one other neat trick you might like. I am going to I'm going to turn all objects off just so I select just the boots, and let's deselect those legs. Okay, let's just have all that stuff there. I'm going to delete the history on all of those. Whoops. I know this is a little back and forth, but that's kind of the nature of this stuff. Select the root. Whoops. Make sure I have these back on again. Select the root. just shift select the root. And then there's a bind skin option in here that's a little smarter. That instead of using closest distance, let's see if it lets us use heat map. Heat map does not work for non-polygon objects. Geodesic voxel failed. Okay. So that's not gonna work. Okay, that's really just for polygons, I guess. I'm sort of used to doing polygons. You could try closest in hierarchy, but I don't think it's gonna do much for you. So we're just gonna have to clean this up the hard way. Okay, I don't think we ever see that thing, so we can just get rid of it. You never see that anyways. So. Okay. The other thing is, see, we never got the detail in this, this stress. I thought I mentioned that in my critique. Maybe I did not. So yeah, that's. Let's actually redelete history in this. And we're going to need to add isoparams there. I'll just select the bottom one and the top one. Surfaces, edit NURBS, insert isoparams options between. Let's make it 8. Insert, maybe more than we needed, but it's fine. Then let's rebind that. And so I shift selected the root joint. Go back to the animation menu, skin, smooth bind. Okay. So, I mean, it's not great. The problem is it's like a skirt's never going to look that good with, oh, there's some real bigger problem here though. Is it? Oh, see, it's also parented. That's why it's like double transforming. Well, I'm just going to unparent the skirt. Dang it. Okay. Alright, so let's take a step back. First, let's delete the history. Then, can I unparent it? Okay, that's not exploding. So I did Shift P to unparent the skirt. So I deleted history, then unparented it. Then I'll select the root. Then bind skin. And now. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's passable, right? The only way cloth looks good is to do a cloth simulation, and it's just way outside of the scope of this class. So that would be the way to do it. Okay. Are we going to have the neck thing too? We're not. Good. And no eye controls that I can see. So we definitely are going to want to do the eye controls. And I'm not seeing the spine controls either with the IK spline and the clusters and all that. I mean, it is. Oh, something's locking that down. Although I don't see the. Well. Yeah, we'll have to work on that spine. I'm not sure. What I would expect to see is the cluster handles for the spine. So if you do have a version of those somewhere, that would be a good idea. I'm not clear on what's preventing that from rotating. back E. That's strange. Because normally you'd see like a color on there or something if it was locked, or we would see the spline IK handle locking up, but I'm not seeing the spline IK handle. Let me just do a quick trick over here. If I type star IK star and these are just those. And these are all the feet ones. So there is no spline IK. Oh, I don't know. Let me know if you have another version where this is working. Otherwise, oh, that's interesting. That's fine. But these are somehow locked, which is strange because, like I said, normally you'd see something here. I'm not exactly sure. You'd see like a... Okay, yeah, let me know if you have one with our spines working. If not, we'll have to probably get pretty serious about troubleshooting that. Alright, so a bunch of stuff to fix on here, but the character is looking good. Next up is Lindsey. So, first of all, I'd say you could spend more time posing the fingers and stuff like that for the pose. I think I've got some issues going on here. So the dress isn't moving with the leg, and the easiest thing to do at this point would be to go back to the version before you started animating and posing, and try to get that just rebind it there, delete history and bind it again with the default options. I'm not sure why it didn't do a better job now. I mean, you could try weighting it. It's just going to be hard to do, but I can show that process, I suppose. Why not? Let's try that. So, right mouse click, paint, skin cluster, paint weights, and let's see what choices we have. So it's got the root in the back and whatever joint 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pelvis. So we don't have any of these joints. So let's select that, shift select that, the knees. That should about do it. Oh, actually, well, this is we're adding stuff. Shift select that. So let's just reveal selected. Yeah, we've got a bunch of joints there. Shift select the dress, and then skin, add influence. Okay, and now I would probably go hole by hole. So let's take maybe these first few holes and go in the paint weights tool and replace them with a value of 1. Oh, we really have to split this left and right, huh? So go component mode, and actually, okay, let's be a little bit more careful about this. So I'm gonna go in the front view, not so great, right? So maybe here, and let's select 1/2 of the dress. It's a little tricky because I'll just go ahead and select down the middle line, and then dresses are difficult. To go back into the paint tool and replace with a value of 1 to the, should be a right hip, no, right there. Interestingly, it's saying it has some values on there. Let's see what happens when we flood that to 1. Nothing. Great. So something about this dress isn't working. Wow, it's got all of that history on there. Let's see what happens if I delete non-deformer history. Well, I was lucky, but the weighting is somehow not working at all. So really, this is kind of, yeah, it's like, oh, this isn't going to work. The problem is you can't, you have to be in bind pose to add influence. So that's my mistake. You really have to go back to the file before you post it and fix this stuff. So you could just do the add influence thing like I did, or you could just delete history off it and rebind it, which is what I would probably do. So, but you really need to go back to that file before you post it. Yeah, so let's see what else. Oh, the eyes are kind of crazy, need to be fixed. I think the hat maybe could kind of move down on her head a little bit more. Not sure what that's part of. Part of the boot, but maybe some part you can delete. So yeah, this needs some work. If you try going back to your file before you started posing it, and if you need help, send me the file. Put it in the discussion, and I can work on it from there. But when it's already posed and all mixed up like this, it's going to be too tricky. So, yeah, let's do that. Next up is Megan. Seems to be working. Okay. All the controls so far seem good. Okay, neck. Okay, I've showed this several times now, but select these. Whoops. This joint, that joint. Shift select the neck. Skin, add influence with the default options. And that's been working pretty consistently to solve that. Good. Yeah, and then the other thing is we're missing those spine controls. So you should have the IK spine in here, and which you do. I can see it right here, but you don't have. Do you have the curve? It kind of looks like you have the curve too. I just don't see the control things. So, oh no, you don't have the curve. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you want to have, like when you create the IK spline, you want to have you want to auto create the curve and then take the clusters on the curve and take the CVs of the curve and do create deformers cluster and then make selection handles from those. So needs the spline working, but other than that, that's working well. Next up is Angela, and yeah. By the way, nice. Oh, we just have the image here. It's nice to see the character rendered in the town. It's a nice touch. Oops. See the turntable. Yeah, that looks good. Just kind of a quick check to see that everything's working. I mean, the pose kind of tells me anyways. I don't think you'd get this pose if it wasn't working pretty well. Face is looking good. It's a nice expressive face. Oh yeah, and so yeah, once again the neck. So we're going to select this one, that one, whoops, that one, It'd be better if this was in bind pose. It might not let me do this. You might have to go back to your version with, let's see if it lets me do this. Yeah. Oh, it says it's, oh, I'm sorry, I don't do bind skin, smooth bind. I do add influence. Yeah, see, that's not gonna work. It's gotta be in the bind pose. So maybe if we, yeah, you're gonna want to sort of zero everything out. No, that's not zero. Yeah, I mean wherever it was in the bind pose. So if you have a version of the character, all you need to do is select those three spine joints, select this surface, and go to skin, add influence, and that'll fix the neck. Yeah, another one missing the spine controls. You'll definitely want to add those in. Yeah, but other than that, it seems to be working really well. So go back to the original where before you posed it, add influences for the neck. For the spine, you need to have the spline IK curve in there. You select the CVs, you make a cluster out of each CV, and you add a selection handle for that cluster. Next up is Kravan. It's got a kind of a funny sort of scared look to him. I kind of like it, that look in his eyes. Yeah, looks like, the pose kind of says a lot. It seems to be working pretty well. Another one with a missing spine. It seems like more than half of you have the spine not working. So I'm kind of wondering why that is. So many people didn't get the spine working. But everything else on here seems alright. Yeah, but other than that, it seems to be working very well. Let's check the neck thing. Oh yeah, so same issue. So I've showed this several times in this video, but with the character in its original pose, select the neck, select the three neck joints, and go to the skin menu and add influence. Next up is Chris. So we've got this knee issue, and yeah, I mean it's going to be tricky. I think what I would do is back in your version with the character in the original bind pose, delete the history off of this surface, and then add an isoparm right at the knee, right there, and you'll do. But again, it has to be in its original bind pose. Edit NURBS, insert isoparms with the default options there, and I have a feeling. And then if you rebind it, I don't think that knee's going to poke through so much. Yeah, another one missing the spine. I guess I'm wondering if you guys are starting out with a rig that didn't have the spine controls on it or something, and I'm wondering because it seems like a full 2/3 of the class doesn't have the spine controls. I don't know what happened there. So yeah, everything else seems to be working. But I would definitely need, a character not posed to be able to demonstrate adding the spine control. So if you guys have a version you want to send me with the character not posed. And then the neck thing is the same thing I've showed several times in this video, where again, in the original pose, select the neck surface, select the 3 neck joints, and then you go to skin, add influence, and that fixes the neck. So next up is J. And yeah, it looks like this one's got a long way to go. He does have a spine control, so that's good. Oh, it's not bound at all. The character's incomplete. So, yeah, not too much to critique on this one. What I would say is that you either need to really catch up with this, or you need to, for your subsequent assignments, use one of the stock characters that comes with the Silver City folder, because this is obviously quite incomplete. So that would be, either hurry up and catch up with this, or maybe just for the walk cycle, go ahead and use one of those, because I wouldn't want you to miss the current assignment trying to catch up with this one. And really, that goes for anyone. If you guys are just stuck with your rig and you really just want to do the walk cycle, go ahead and use a stock character, and then we can continue to work on the rig for your final if you want. But I don't want anyone to have to be stuck. So yeah, this is obviously very far from complete. Okay, thanks everybody.